Welcome to another edition of Great Health, the Banana is an outrageous love. Come on.
Very tender lips, so we're not doing much kissing these days. So we are doing another video on the series Cancer What Next, documenting what Jeffrey's going through. And again, we are not giving anyone advice here. We are only documenting our own personal journey and experience with this, in the hopes that we can just give you some things to think about and maybe things to discuss, with your loved ones and your doctors.
If you have to go down this journey, God forbid.
God forbid if you have to go down this journey, right? And unfortunately, I know a lot of you are down this journey, or somebody who's going down this journey. So, this is why we're doing this, so that we can all share information. Initially we went to a great doctor, and we were told that surgery was the option. And it was really the only option offered.
Actually, multiple doctors told us that. All very good doctors.
Exactly.
Yeah.
We went to an initial doctor who told us that, and then we took it upon ourselves to seek out several other doctors and cancer centers. And essentially, that was the information that we were given. And my notes to you are: advocate for yourself, because don't stop there. And it's not that the information they gave us wasn't great. Not only was it great, it was extremely valuable. And all the information that we took from each one of these great doctors, we took along with us on our journey to each doctor that we visited. And then when we went to MD Anderson, we just made it very clear that we are very versed on all of these surgical options, and we only want to explore non-surgical options, which we did with many of the other doctors, but they did not have the experience or expertise or documented patients to provide us with that particular route. So they were not really willing.
I think it's important to mention, where do we come up with this? We just did a lot of our own research and digging in through the web. And this is what Karen's talking about, being your own self-advocate. There's a lot out there on the web. You got to really work through it, because some of it's great information, some of it not so great. So, hopefully we're picking the right path. This is the path we're going down. We're sharing it in hopes that everything is going the way it should, and we'll be able to clear through everything, as I think we are. But why don't you, I think you're going to give the definition of immunotherapy.
And I just want to say that in addition to doing our own research, immunotherapy was actually brought up to us by one of our very first doctors, who doesn't do this at all, but he was familiar with one of his colleagues' patients who is doing this, and that colleague couldn't treat Jeffrey because of the location of this. But that's where we learned about it, and that's why it's so valuable to self-advocate and see all these doctors, because they all bring such a wealth of knowledge, in addition to doing your own research. So we had no idea exactly what immunotherapy was. In fact, Jeffrey and I were under the impression that immunotherapy, and in his case, there are many different applications. His case is a topical application, a cream, and there is also a topical application for chemotherapy. Again, many applications for chemotherapy. Totally different. Yeah. But we didn't know that. We actually thought that this immunotherapy was the same as chemotherapy, and I want to make it clear that we have learned that is definitely not the case. They work very differently with the body. So I want to talk to you about specifically immunotherapy, and I'm going to read the definition of immunotherapy. These are not our words. This is the definition that we learned.
And before you go there, we did a lot of research on fighting cancer and how to build up your immunity. So I was doing the intermittent fasting and cutting out sugars and gluten and things like that cancers feed on. So we did a lot of pre-work, or I did a lot of pre-work on building my immune system first.
Right.
Which I hoped it was in great shape before, but we beefed it up a bit.
Right, and that's so important, because of all the doctors that we saw, most of them really weren't interested in that aspect of this treatment. In fact, one doctor herself had also gone through cancer, a different type, and she said, oh, I did this particular diet and it didn't help, and I had to have it anyway, which is totally respect her opinion, but for us, that is a really important part of who we are, and we really believe that food is medicine in conjunction with everything else that we're doing.
Right.
Again, that's really important to note, that in conjunction with everything else
Right.
that we're doing. So, again, find a doctor who values your philosophy on that. So immunotherapy is a type of cancer treatment that boosts the body's natural defenses to fight cancer. It uses substances made by the body or in a laboratory to improve how your immune system works to find and destroy cancer cells. So what we've learned and how we've interpreted this is that normally this cancer progresses because it's basically hiding out in your body. So your body doesn't know to attack it. So for example, when you get the flu and you get a fever, that's your body attacking the flu. It knows to do that. It's so amazing, what a miraculous thing our body is. But in the case of these cancers, they hide out. And in this particular case, the melanoma, it hides out in your skin, and your body doesn't know that it's one of the bad guys, so
Right.
it doesn't attack it.
Right. So the immunotherapy is actually highlighting the melanoma, which is causing all this swelling and a little ulceration going on, stinging. It's like, they give you the what it feels like. It's like bee stings, swollen and bee stings at night. When I have to put this cream on, I actually sleep with it. You put it on for 8 hours, 5 days on, 2 days off. So I'm really excited tonight. I can go to bed and not put this on. I have 2 days off because last night was kind of tough. I woke up with some bleeding too. So not only swollen, redness, some ulceration, could be some bleeding. It affects everybody differently. We did learn though too, this is all great news, because the first week really nothing happened. I thought, oh, this is good, and then, well, not so good, because we didn't think it was working. Right. It wasn't painful. That was a good part.
That was the good part. But the silver lining is that all of the pain that Jeffrey is experiencing, and the I'm going to call it trauma to his skin, because it's so swollen, as you can see in the ulceration. The silver lining is that means that it's working.
Right.
And so we're really excited about that. And again, his particular process is a 6-week procedure, 5 days on, 2 days off. And we just finished week 3. And according to everything that we've learned and read, he's pretty much on target for where he should be in a positive way. And, we're halfway through this, and that's really, really exciting. But we also want to let people know too, because it's not a cakewalk. He experiences a lot of pain, and he describes it as bees constantly stinging your lips, and there's not really a break in between the bee stings, and the swelling makes it very painful. He's doing a great job of talking through this video, but I know it's so painful, and he probably won't talk for the rest of the day. Eating and drinking has become extremely uncomfortable. We've got a rubber tip straw we're using, and we're actually going out to get a rubber tip baby spoon, because it's hard. I think when your mouth is so swollen, it's hard to open your mouth to even fit a small spoon.
Are you going to feed me the way you fed the babies?
No, I'm going to touch yourself, Suki. I don't want you to feel, unless you want me to.
No, I'm just kidding.
Oh, there's Sugar Baby looking for us. So, those are the I want to say the downsides, but because those downsides are such good signs, that really helps too. And he's added in a lot of meditation and a lot of crystal healing, and basically he's doing every single thing that he can in conjunction with the traditional medicine to give himself the best odds to beat this. And we feel really hopeful, and we want to keep you guys posted, and
we'll keep updating here.
Yeah,
right?
And if you have any questions, we can't answer any medical questions, but we can certainly answer questions about how this journey's going and what he's experiencing, and anything like that. So we'll also accept all great vibes for, for this to work in healing.
I feel them. People are sending them. It's
They
helping.
are. I do believe Jeffrey really does feel that in his heart. Wishing you great health, abundant happiness, and outrageous love from Scottsdale, Arizona. And before we sign off, we're in Scottsdale, Arizona. Both of us wearing kind of winter coats. It's beautiful and sunny, but it was in the, what?
Well, it's 30 something this
30s,
morning, but it was in the 80s, so it's going to kick back up, which is great.
Right.
But back home, it's snowing like crazy.
Back home in Colorado, we are missing, what are they calling it? The
Snowmageddon.
Snowmageddon. And we've got some friends sending us rulers in their yards, and I think they're, at a foot or 2 feet?
I think, well, mine was a foot. He cleared it off, and he almost has another foot there now. I haven't talked to him live, but huge.
So we can't wait to get back and see that. But in the meantime, we're going to enjoy the weather here in Colorado. Again, wishing you great health, abundant happiness, and outrageous love.